Here we are in the loony bin called Love Them Knives. LTK with you. Gonna give you the full tour on the CIVIVI Statera. Welcome back. What are we talking about today? Where did you get a navy blue Statera? I got it out of the RIT dye bottle. That's where I got it out of. It was tan. Where's my picture of my tan, CIVIVI? Come here. You don't get to see that. Yes, you do. Okay, so here's a blown up picture of how this got this big. That was what it looked like once upon a time. Now it has totally transformed. Does that look purplish? It just depends on the light. I'll tell you what, if it's a cloudy day, it looks black. It looks like black on black. Super bright lights like these studio lights depend on the angle, whether you're going to call that navy or purple. I'm saying it's pretty much navy. What was really interesting is one of the viewers and I have been going back and forth on this scale dyeing. He took a swordfish and did cherry red on it, and it was really cool. So yeah, I've got to do it again now too. Not on a swordfish, but I think I'm going to do a paladin. In any case, so from Best Tech, tan, it's just like a blank canvas. In any case, this was tan as well, but he's going, dude, I don't know, with that carbon fiber overlay, how's that going to work? And I go, I don't know, but I'm going in. And I went in, and you can take a look. I'll give you the link on my Best Tech Barracuda review because I did the scales on that, and I attached the video of me actually cooking the scales up in the pot. But just basically a half a cup of liquid RIT dye in about 1.5 quarts of water or so, and then maybe 1/4 cup white vinegar kind of helps supposedly the G10 to absorb the dye. In any case, about 12 minutes in boiling or almost boiling water, I bring it to a boil, kick it back, and just put it in the super hot, almost boiling water. Set the timer for 12, 13 minutes. And voila. Well, you got to put it on fishing line, or you got to take the scales off. You got to take it apart. But in fact, I will attach the video. Sorry, take up the time. Attach the video of me reassembling this knife from all the pieces and parts back together after dyeing the scales. I'll attach it on the end if you're just interested. Whatever. In any case, the Statera. This thing is new for 2019. What a cool knife. Look at the action on this thing. Whew, slick. And this ain't as cheap as some. I mean, this is a $68 CIVIVI knife. Some of them have been a little less expensive than that, like the Wyvern. This Wyvern, of course, it's got FRN scales. Same, though, D2 steel as far as the blade goes. This one has got G10 instead of the FRN with the carbon fiber overlay. So a little bit more expensive. You can see these liners show through, where on the Wyvern they're embedded inside the scales here. So $49.68. Okay, 10% discount on White Mountain with the LTK discount code. So almost $7 off. You're at about $61 delivered. Nice. We've tested the CIVIVI Shard D2, and it was basically almost a 60 HRC, and yes, it tested as real D2. Why they call it Chinese D2, I don't know. Check it out, because that's what they do. They call it Chinese D2. Check it on the box. They're calling it Chinese D2. Strange, because from what the analyzer gun looks at, it registers as D2. And I never heard anything from our tester guy saying, yeah, it registers at D2, but it's a variant. I didn't even get those comments from him, which I will if it does. So it's really strange. Okay, so they got these gold colored stainless steel liners to show, and a fiberglass overlay. I mean, carbon fiber overlay. So there you go. And maybe if you look at the edges of that carbon fiber close enough under the right lighting, may have got affected a little bit by the dye, but you can't tell looking on. I mean, this is so impervious to that. I didn't think I was going to have any problems, and I really didn't when it went to dyeing it. But what's the point of dyeing them when you don't have that much G10 showing? You know, I just did it to do it. And it came apart real good. You'll see at the very end when I tack on my reassembly video, which was a fool's errand. Oh my God. I couldn't tell which way was up half the time. In any case, centered up, great action, really cool design, like it a lot. Wow. Front choil, you can go forward. Where's a piece of paper? Whew. Yeah, you think? I think it's sharp. I think they got that done. And, you know, I met Joe, the CEO and chief designer, really, at SHOT Show. Super nice guy, really cool. And, wow, he does a good job. I mean, really, when you think about it, how are you the CEO of the We Knife Company and you're doing probably 80% of the design work, too? He's good. He's good. This one, just, I don't know why it appeals to a lot of people, but I've really had a lot of positive feedback on my Instagram posting of this. This is centered, no blade play, no lock rock, but it did have blade play because I put it back together and I didn't put any thread locker on here, and it did back off after a while. And it's good now. But, oh, and here's your lockup. Fairly light, 20-25%, you know. But, damn, that's smooth. Design flows, really nice there. Even milled out the flipper tab, jimping on the flipper tab, jimping, and kind of a subtle thumb ramp here on the blade for your ability to kind of control the knife here. Going forward also feels comfortable, but you know, really, the ergos are good on this. And reverse grip is good as well. So I like it. It feels fairly light in the hand. But you know, it just drops like a $400 knife. It really does. It's spooky weird that way. 3.7 ounces, so it's as light as a paramilitary 2. PM2 is 3.8, I believe, and yes, it is. So 3.7, 3.8, there you go. It's a little lighter than the PM2 at 104.8 grams at 108 grams. So a little lighter, absolutely. And for comparison purposes, kick that out of the way. Fancy get out here. About the same size. About the same size. It's probably, the Statera is actually just maybe a tad smaller, as you can kind of see in this aspect ratio, than the PM2. So more like a 3.45, 3.5 inch, which would be about the same as the PM2. 3.5, let's just call it that, 90 millimeters, or whatever, depending on where you want to measure this. I mean, you want to measure down here to the back of the choil, it's longer than 3.5, and it's 93 millimeters, something like that. But 8 inches overall, so 1/4 inch shorter than the PM2, and not quite 20.5 centimeters. And what do we got for blade stock? 3 millimeters, not real thick, 0.115. Overall fatness, let's not be in the groove here. Oh, 0.15 or 0.517, 13.15 millimeters. So a little fatter than the PM2. This is 0.45. This is 0.51. A little fatter in the hand. A little shorter by like a 1/4 inch. Pretty much the exact same blade length. Just failing here to get quite as long a handle, which is not breaking my heart. And then you got a nice integrated lanyard hole in the G10 backspacer. This is titanium pocket clip. These are titanium screws. I would dare to say that's titanium on the pivot as well. Now, of course, the liners are steel. Like I said before, jimping here, kind of a slight thumb ramp, and feels good in the hand. What do you think? Still a real good looking knife, isn't it? Big long fullers on both sides, kind of keep it interesting looking. I don't know if you can really, I've never really tried to finger flick this as a result. Yeah, you can if you get your finger in that fuller there good enough. Yeah. Wipe your fingers off after that greasy fried chicken because you'll never get it done otherwise. But yes, you can there. So there you go. Yes, you can finger flick it. Flipper tab. Pretty light detent. Yeah. It's a 5 at best. Okay. It's not a 5.5. It's a 5. But it's really smooth. It's really smooth. And I know these bearings aren't ceramic, but I don't know that makes much difference in smoothness. Why you can have two different knives both with identical bearings, but one is just so smooth and the other one is not. It just blows my mind. I don't know. It's centered up. No lock rock, no blade play on this. It's just fun just to do this. That's really nice. I like it. Wow, CIVIVI line of knives. How crazy is this? And oh, by the way, you get a zipper pouch, and you get a microfiber cloth in there, like you don't get with a lot of other knives that cost you $250. So. Does that make any sense either? I don't know. You're getting a lot of value. It's just a lot of competition going on in the market. And I think We Knives was really smart to start the CIVIVI line to really get out there. And they had the 9CR18 MOV blades for a while. They went to D2. They did VG10. So they've been kind of varying it up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. But with the titanium hardware, of course, the earlier CIVIVI knives didn't have that, but they were a lot less expensive. So, and they're still available. The Naja, the Backlash, some of those. So, check those out as well. Go to White Mountain, see what they got. Thank you so much for hanging in there. It was fun. The Statera, good-looking knife, very interesting design. Great in the hand, lightweight, smooth as butter. Really smooth. Take care, my friends. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp. And here we are, my friends. Oh, yeah, I forgot the gloves. Thank God I picked it up by... I dyed the scales of my Statera, my CIVIVI Statera that was in tan. So, I mean, once you get it out of the solution, you rinse it down with cold water, it should fix this, and you shouldn't ever get any rub off, which I'm not, but it's just, I did initially when I pulled it out and held it under cold water. I'm sure I came into contact with it somehow. So in any case, no big deal. There's the backspacer. There's the scales. I put it in. I took the solution, and this is the solution I used for my Barracuda and my CIVIVI that were in tan. And so that's the solution I put back into a 1 gallon plastic jug, and just stored it for weeks. Okay. When I put it back in a stainless steel pan and heated this up, then I added a little bit more of that white vinegar, just because I figured that had already left the solution previously. So I just did that. Whether I needed to do that or not, I don't know. I brought it to just where I saw it was starting to boil, just starting to. Back the heat down and set the timer for 12 minutes and put these in. So that was it. And then, I should have put the backspacer between the two scales. That way separated them, but I kind of spread them out and laid them in the pan, and then I just let it go for 12 minutes and pulled them out. So they're good. In the light in the kitchen, they didn't look right, but I had to get them under real light because it's a cloudy day and there's not a lot of intense light there. So there's what they look like. So that's really cool, huh? No big deal there. You can look at my video that I did on the Barracuda, dyeing that. It's the same thing I did last time. So there you go. And there's the pieces. And of course I took the knife apart, and then, in the CIVIVI pouch, you have this plastic. So I go, I'll just put all the parts in here, right? And that way I can put it right back together. I'm not going to lose anything. Nothing's going to roll around or whatever. And so this, actually, this bearing is still in here. Although I flip mine. I usually go like that. Really odd, huh? But I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference, because, to tell you the truth, this thing was super smooth anyhow. Oh, Lord. Okay. So this will be the lock bar side right here. Yes, because this is the presentation side. Duh. Okay. So, and of course, this is the pivot tube, and this, of course, has no ability to get to your Torx here, because that's just the way these are built here. So now that we've done that, now maybe we can put our stop pin in here, and this will be the only pin that's not hollow, right? It's not threaded. So I mean, you can get that much, no problem. And of course I left these in here like this, so I guess I'll just put them down like that when it comes to that. And then I'm gonna put that side down, and whatever. This is just some generic stuff that I have, light machine oil. So let me look around the side and just put a drop or two as it's wanting to. And then, of course, the blade, which, of course, the blade faces towards the spine. I mean, not everybody knows everything. So if it seems like an idiot moment to you, there's somebody out there that's just learning how to do this stuff. So, and then I'm just going to roll a little bit of lube in here, just for the heck of it. And then I'm going to put the closed side against the blade. And probably don't need to do a darn thing here, but I'm going to anyhow, just a couple. And then we've got to put this on, and of course these have got the spacers, which I've just left on there. Who cares, right? So we're gonna, okay, hold on. Let's do this first. And so we got the spacer to go on here, and yeah, that looks right. Okay, so now that we've got them positioned, that shouldn't be difficult to put onto the knife. So we're going to go across here. Of course, we got to get our cage put together here. Just like that. Now we should have ourselves put together with the stop pin that's put through there, the blade stop, or stop pin, whatever you want to call it. And these, okay, snap together. And then we just need to, actually we could probably put some hardware on here to stabilize this. And these little pins look all pretty much, well, all pretty much the same. So, and I've just got my little driver here. This is just whatever little, you know, bit driver you want, but then get the WeHa bits here. These are the hardened steel German bits you can get from KC Tools. And remember that Chris Conaway, at least last I knew, was working for KC. Now that we got some of this locked down. Okay, snapped into place there where the stop pin goes across. And then, yes, you're right, this presentation side, pocket clip side, you see those two holes there. Yes, they're reversible, so that can be confusing. And let's just get a regular body screw over here, put it in, right like yay. Come on, just get it in here. Doing this through a camera is a bit of a pain. Okay, so at least I got everything put together, or at least held together for the moment. And yes, I've got this whole thing reversed. Oh, Lord. I love it when a plan comes together, right? Yeah, wow. I always have to do that. For some reason, I have the innate ability to actually get things reversed. There you go. Now, this is the presentation side that should have been through there to begin with. You were probably yelling and screaming, going, what the hell are you doing? But, I mean, I just poked it through since I had this stabilized. I just poked the whole thing out and ran it back through. Thank God it worked that way, because if it wouldn't have, I would have had to disassemble it and redo it again. So that's kind of how I roll. Apparently, can't ever figure out what I'm doing to begin with. Now, this is going to go here and through that spacer. Okay, so there we go. You don't get this extra one. These two screws go to the pocket clip right here. Pocket clip side. And these are longer screws because they have to go through this milled pocket clip. Don't want to get that too tightened down yet. It's a long way in. Okay. Looks like titanium hardware, though, that's for sure. Which it is. Okay, so the final effect, though, is that I actually got it done. It's centered. The action's great. No lock rock, no blade play. And what do you think? You liking that purple stat? Man, that's really great action. I really, really like this. I think I like it now better than when it was tan. I thought I really liked the tan better. Tell you the truth, I like this, or I like the green, or if I got a tan, I could do a red. I mean, I think it turned out all right, dude. Yeah, absolutely. And the goldies. Some people are like, that's just a little cheesy for me. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But this came apart real good, so it really did. Not a problem at all. And it's number 8 Torxes all the way through. If you noticed my reassembly, I stayed with the same bit. So that is Thank you, Joe, at We Knives. Thank you so much for that. Number 8's all the way through. All right. Take care, my friends. Now, we are styling and profiling.